In the 250 division, finishing in third, riding for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Austin Forkner. And in second, riding for Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, Dylan Ferrandis. And your winner, riding for Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Adam Cincerulo. In the 450 division, finishing in third, riding for Red Bull KTM, Marvin Muscan. Finishing in second, riding for Rocky Mountain ATV MC KTM, Blake Baggett. And your winner, riding for Red Bull KTM and Parts Unlimited, Cooper Webb. Congratulations, guys. Austin, you got out front early in that main event, and as those guys started to close in on you, you mentioned on the podium that you were taking the championship into consideration. Was that actually like subconsciously on your mind or consciously on your mind, and you knew that who it was and kind of made that decision mid-race?
Yeah, I never like to start thinking about that during a race because usually whenever I think, I'm my own worst enemy type of thing. But yeah, I tried to latch on to Adam after he passed me. They were just a little bit quicker than me, maybe everywhere, but specifically in the whoops. I had 2 crashes there in practice, and basically I told myself I'm going to jump through these and I'm not going to go any faster through them. So I didn't want to repeat a practice. So I was doing that, and Adam got me. I was like, okay, I'm going to latch on to him. Bam, Dylan got me. And so I kind of latched on to him for a couple laps, saw that I had a pretty big gap behind me, and was like, you know what? I mean, this is a win for East Coast as far as I'm concerned. And I was like, with the day that I've had, I would be happy to salvage a third. So I just put it on cruise control and tried to just bring it home. Track was getting gnarly, and I made a few mistakes that kind of set me back a little bit, but.
Dylan, we've had a chance to talk on the podium a few times this year, and you always end up at second, which just means you talk to me. And we've kind of joked around how you don't want to talk to me no more. You want to get on top of the podium and win this thing. But you said today, just based on everything that happened a year ago here, that this was a win for you kind of outside of this race. And just kind of take us through how meaningful it is to be back in this building where things went really wrong, and tonight things went pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I lived last year at this stadium with a broken arm, broken jaw, broken teeth, so for sure it's good this year to be on the podium. And I think I tried to not think about it, but I was thinking a little bit about it when I was racing maybe. So I was riding a little bit with the fear maybe, I don't know, but I was not 100% I think. But like I say, it's really good to be on a podium tonight. And yeah, we showed that West guys are strong, and yeah, we rode good, but AC was faster for sure tonight. And yeah, I'm happy.
Adam, great start in the main event to be up there and put yourself in a better position, but in that heat race kind of struggled off the gate. And what kind of adjustments were made before that main event to ensure that you got up there? I know how important it was on this track, and obviously the main event start was a whole lot better.
Yeah, I think it's just the intensity of just starting off the gate. You know, it had been a couple weeks for us, and I just let my right leg kind of come out, which is kind of my tendency. If I get a bad start, it's like let my legs get a little bit loose, and I set my front end down all sideways in the heat, and that's what happened there. And it put me on the outside in the, getting third in the heat, 5th gate pick. There wasn't very many good gates out there, and it put me kind of close to the box for the main. And it's kind of scary out there because if you don't get a good jump, I mean, they're going to push wide in the first rhythm section, and you're going to be, 10th, and you're going to be back there probably the whole time. So I was able to kind of, make that adjustment and just stayed patient behind Chase, made a move on him, and then Austin was in front of me. Obviously, didn't want to do anything stupid up there. It was like the first thing that came to my mind. So was able to have a good race, solid race, and kind of mistake-free, and certainly learned a lot throughout the day. I think my heat race I rode terrible, so just kept a positive attitude and got it done.
This question is for Marvin and Blake. You guys were in your own battle, but it seemed like you would both make a run up to Cooper. And then right when you'd get to him, something would happen and you'd lose the ground. And you both kind of did it a couple times. What was going on there? Was it the track, the lap traffic, just a combination of everything? But just kind of walk us through those moments when you were able to make a run, but then kind of get to him and then fall back. Marvin, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the riding tonight, but being the chaser, like following the leader like that, it was tough. I mean, I knew I could definitely make a pass, but it was definitely tough. You come through the sand section and you just have to follow. Through the whoops was kind of the same thing. I didn't want to chance it and go to the right side, so then I made a mistake and Blake got around me, and it was the same with in this position. I was just trying my best, and I was catching him, and then losing and catching him back. It was definitely a tough track. So that's how it worked out. Everybody made some mistakes, and definitely the gap was going back and forth. But yeah, I mean, even if Blake was catching Cooper, it was hard to make a pass, and then for me it was hard to make a pass. So definitely stayed in that position. I just made a mistake, went off the main line, and Blake got me in the sand, and that's basically all that happened in the main, and that was it. So it was definitely a track that was like that.
Blake?
Yeah, just tough to pass. You could make a run on somebody. I think Marv and Coop were kind of making runs at each other. You know, I could see it going on in front of me, and then same thing with me and Marv. And then once Marv made that mistake, I did the same thing with Coop. But when they have that horseshoe sand section over the tunnel, I'm definitely hands down voice my opinion on it. I'm not for it. It's Supercross. Should be steep obstacles and no sand. So it's just tough. You can make a run on somebody, but then you're just covered. You can't see where you're going. It turns into one line, and the whoops are already bad enough that it gets that goat trail down it. So it was tough to pass, but I tried to do the best I could. And once I got to second, it was kind of like in that middle position. I couldn't do anything to take a chance, because then Marv was going to capitalize on it. But then at the same time, I was trying to make a run on Coop, but just it is what it is. Second.
Cooper, in the main event, you changed your lines a lot. You started in one area, and then as the race went on, you started finding the edges. When did you start looking for that? Obviously, I know it's hard to kind of find those lines and make that choice to kind of switch out of the main line, but it seemed like about halfway through you started making the moves over to the edges. Was it the right time for that? Was that based on the guys behind you that were kind of coming up and blocking in sides? But it seemed like about mid-race you started moving around, and that's when you found the lines that you used late.
Yeah, it was tough. The track was changing a lot, and I knew where I was good, but I was also getting caught by Marv at the beginning in some places, and I knew where, but I wasn't sure what line you're doing. When you're out front, it's kind of hard to see what the guy, you're out front, so you can't see where you're going slow or not. So I was just trying to hit my marks, and I felt like they weren't working as well as I liked them to. So I kind of started searching, then made some, you make some mistakes as the race goes on, and actually felt like I kind of, towards the end started hitting some better lines, and I knew Blake was coming, and he was good in the whoops like he always is. So I knew that was his spot, but like you said, with the sand, you almost feel bad sandblasting the guys, but so.
Don't worry, we ate a bunch.
Oh, they won't need dinner tonight. Yeah, that was it. Another win. It was sweet.
Blake, could you talk about the triple after the start stretch? You were getting it a lot of the race and closing it, but then it seemed like it was always tough, but it seemed like it was getting even tougher late in the race to do it every lap.
Yeah, I had a good line, and I had a good speed to kind of get over it. It was, if you charged it too hard, you drug your foot pegs on the first one, and then you'd come up short. And then same thing with the second one. You had to be patient. But I think the only laps that I missed it was because lap traffic, really. And then I skimmed the whoops pretty much the whole time, but I had to really skim it in that main line. So the only option for something to happen was going to be to try and last-ditch effort it down the right side where they were big and cupped out, but it probably wasn't going to lead to much in the turn after.
Michael Antonovich with PulpMX. This is for the 450 guys. You've pretty much seen the same layout over and over this year. There's a lot of stuff that's pretty similar. Although the track conditions are different, is that helping you guys know like what the rhythm is instead of having to learn an all-new track every week?
I felt like the tracks, like you said, has been a little bit quite the same, and I wonder why, because like on the West Coast tracks, to me they were like awesome, and I thought maybe it's the layout, the baseball field, but I thought they're trying to be creative, and like for example, like Anaheim 2, to me it was like such a nice track. There was like split lanes and stuff, like really technical, and now on the East Coast, good thing the dirt is soft, and it makes very difficult and technical because of the ruts and the bumps, but yeah, there's nothing like very very technical like we've seen at the beginning of the season, and I just feel like a good thing the dirt is soft to make it tough.
I think they're just trying to use as much floor space as they can. So when you look at it, all the football stadiums are basically the same floor print, so they could try to do the best they can with the layout, and it seems to have better racing when it flows like this. I think the only way to make it gnarlier or make it have more passing is just make the obstacles steeper and make everything bigger and just slow it down. So the pace of the rhythm lane is so fast compared to what it used to be that I think they could use a layout like this, but just make everything bigger and steeper and slow the speeds down and make it not so one line in some sections.
Yeah, I think like these guys said, it's tough with these football ones. The floor space is a lot smaller, but yeah, I mean maybe we'll see some more creativity coming, later on. But like Blake said, I think the ruts in the soil is ultimately what makes the difference, because we start making mistakes. I think you see on the East Coast, all the practice times are really really close, and then the main event you kind of get separated due to the track condition. But yeah, it's they did a lot of maintenance tonight for sure, but it still gets soft.
Steve Guyberson with Vital MX. Adam, I saw the knuckles afterwards. Can you describe what happened there, and how big a moment was that?
Yeah, it was close. Austin, he had started farther inside of me, and he came out of the corner. Obviously, he must have gone double, and I was on a different rhythm, and I was kind of going up, and he was coming down, and he was drifting out to the left, and he just it almost ripped the handlebars out of my hands. Honestly, like he came down right on my clutch, and for somehow it bent my clutch up. It was weird. My clutch was all bloody and stuff after the race, but luckily I didn't really feel it till after. But yeah, scary moment there. It almost put me in the tough blocks too right off the bat. But it's kind of on me. My first corner was a little bit timid. I was a little bit too timid around the outside, and those guys snuck in. So that's what happens when you're back there.
Also, before the race, everybody was pretty nice about East versus West. Do you want to do any West bragging?
No, absolutely not. I mean, nothing but respect for those guys. When I saw Chase and Austin in front of me, I've been watching them obviously on TV the last few weeks, and both of those guys are really fast, and I've ridden with them before, so they deserve all the respect. I think they're just great athletes, great riders. Can't take anything away from them. So I definitely had to, have my work cut out for me with those guys in front of me, and I think we all did a good job. We rode a hard race. We rode clean. Didn't make any stupid mistakes. So that's a win for me.
For Dylan and Adam, this is your first race in a couple weeks. It's quite a bit different than what you guys were racing on the West Coast too. Do you learn a lot? Do you take away a lot from this, or is it there's not a lot to learn because the West Coast tracks are so different? And what do you do for these next few until your next race?
No, it's not big different, just tougher. Like the heat race, I took a really bad start and I was fighting for 8th position. So it's on the West Coast, we are 4 or 5 really good rider, and after it's the level is a little bit lower. So yeah, it was just more challenging, but I mean it's always the same. It's always each race main event, and you have to be good start right in front, fight with the guy. But yeah, just more challenging this weekend. And yeah, for your second question, for me, I will try a little bit outdoor testing, but I mean I'm looking forward to challenging this championship. So keep working on Supercross, keep doing lap time, working on Supercross track at Yamaha, and yeah, to be ready for Seattle. It's not so far. It's in 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I found it kind of difficult to get going today a little bit, like especially in the heat race, man. I was terrible. I don't know what I was doing, but just the intensity of the gate drop, just being around it, for me, it's just like the atmosphere of being at the race and being around it. But I mean, that's really all I have to say that's different than what he said. So, just yeah.
Cooper, you had a race where you felt good all day and had a spectacular race. You won in Texas, and then you said you didn't feel good all day last time, and you still got second. Where did this one rank? Like going into the main, did you feel like tonight could be the night? Did you feel like you had some things you were going to have to fix kind of in the heat of the moment? What were your thoughts going into the main event from earlier in the day?
Yeah, it was good. I was right up there in practice, so I felt good all day. I liked the track. We were all close again in practice, but I felt comfortable again, and so yeah, I knew I had a shot. With the way the track broke down, I knew a start would be important, so was able to execute that, and it was cool though. Like I haven't led a long main event like that in a little while, so kind of fight the nerves a little bit, but it was good to get another win for sure.
Can all three of you guys just talk about the intensity? I mean, you could see each other the entire main, and it felt like it was like 50 laps. It just kept going on and on. I couldn't believe halfway through, it felt like you'd have been out there for a half hour. So just talk about the intensity and even the fitness and not making mistakes and track breaking down and trying to set up passes. How intense was this entire main event?
It felt like the KJSC race because it was just us. It was like, man, it's just KTMs.
With more power.
A little bit. But then again, those things are fast now.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I said earlier, it was not much happened, but we were right there, really close, but no really much like going on. It was so it was just like I said, just tough to pass, but yeah, it was definitely intense, and it kind of went by pretty quick to me. I look at the board and it was like 2 minutes to go, so yeah, actually it didn't feel too bad. I guess when you're battling like that, it went by faster.
That's because it was like me and you went to the spa and got exfoliated every lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say the same for me. It was a long main. Hitting your marks every lap is tough. Like I said, not being in the driver's seat, making mistakes is crucial. When we did, or at least when I did. So it was maybe not for it. For these guys, it was a little different, but for me, it was a lot of laps for sure.
Matt Williamson, MX Performance Magazine. Question for you three, the adult version of the KJSC. Looking at these guys with the East-West kind of battle going on, is this what's it like for you guys to kind of look back? I know some of you guys pretty much only did it at the end of the year, but I guess what advice would you have for these guys coming up for the later ones, and how is it like watching these guys race?
They're better than us.
No, I think it's. To me, it's always cool to watch the 250 main before us. I remember every year, especially in Vegas, and when they battle for the championship, you're sitting on the line and you're just so excited watching the main, and you kind of forget about going racing, right? Like a couple minutes later. But once again, today obviously everybody was looking forward to see the West and East showdown. So it was definitely a good racing. Those guys put in a good show.
Get used to it. That's what we've been doing every round.
Yeah, it's like Marv said, it's exciting to see for sure. And I remember being there. It's a much shorter series, so it's a lot of you got to execute on every race. You can't have too many bad ones, but it's cool to see. I mean, these guys are great riders, and they're creative. They're, at least for me, I feel like I can even watch them and learn a lot. So they keep us on our toes, and they're coming for sure eventually.
Ben Bridges, the stat guy. Adam, congratulations on giving Kawasaki their 180th win. You got your 10th, and you become only the 4th Kawasaki guy to win a main event where the Super Bowl was held. How does it feel to win where Tom Brady won?
Oh, geez, this is a trap. No, man, it's cool. I mean, my career so far has been really just wins, kind of spotly here or there. I've never really been a guy it's kind of everything's had to happen right for me. This is the first year where I feel like I'm, in a position where I can make nights like this happen. I have this, the tools I need, and before it was like, everything had to align perfectly. So, for me to win 3 in a row. I never won even 2 in a row before. So I think it's just a product of, some changes I made in the off season, and I think the bike, and Austin's a testament to that on the East Coast as well. I think the bike, man, is the best pro circuit bike I've ridden in the years that I've ridden for the team. So I'm just excited where we're at there, and yeah, I mean, I'm not going to compare myself to Tom Brady at all, but hey, Super Bowl is
well,
it's cool.
This is only the 26th time in Supercross history we've had a podium sweep. This is the second time all three of you, KTM brand, has done this. I've asked in Dallas, what's going on? I mean, this KTM thing is becoming, y'all eating up all the spots on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back, and I've been obviously racing for KTM for it's gonna be like 10 years for me racing for KTM in maybe in a couple months, because back in 2009. So I mean, if you look back at from where they come from, it's very impressive. Especially, I mean, they've been dominating in Europe and GPs, but then when they switch and make a big deal, like in America with Ryan Dungey and myself, and even Ken Roxon. I mean, it's they've done a lot of work, and you see their production bike and the factory edition bike. I mean, everything they do, they try to be ahead of everyone. So, I mean, even like almost 10 years ago, I already had an electric start on my bike, and other brand just starting to have one right now. So, I mean, it's little details like that shows you how KTM is very strong, and they try to be ahead of everybody. And so it's very impressive to see. So they provide us a great product and good atmosphere in the team, and good power. So yeah, very proud to put KTM on the podium like that.
Rob Coy with Cycle Nose. I got a question for you guys. Let's start with the 450, then go to the 250. We're at the halfway point of the season, and let's pretend you're a professor and it's midterms.
I haven't been to school like
all right. Well,
like for a long time. Yeah, I quit school really early, so that might not be good.
All right, Marvin, go ahead and grade yourself. How your season's been so far, please.
Well, then that's easy. Then I don't have to be a professor. Then, well, I am trying to. I'm definitely looking forward to get my first win, and that's what I've been chasing. And I've been doing pretty good during the week and getting better and better physically, and then the speed and the feeling with the bike. So yeah, definitely a little crazy season. My off season's been very different than the years past. So I had to deal with it, and I'm in a good position right now. And like you said, it's only halfway, and there's a lot going on, ahead of us. So looking forward to it.
I'm going to go ahead and give myself a B, because that's the answer I always picked when I didn't know what the answer was. So I just, B, Blake, bag it. Yeah, I just filled it in. B, perfect, all the way down. Now, of course, I would like to get another race win, but Coop's been swooping them from us pretty quick. So just going to keep plugging away. It's only halfway, and a lot can happen. I had some good races, and then I had that one DNF at Minneapolis, so that kind of hurt me on my score, but I'm still going to give myself a B.
C for Cooper?
No, it's been obviously great for me, a heck of a turnaround from years past, and really couldn't ask for anything better. I've had a few mistakes, a few bad races, but I've been able to capitalize with some race wins, and like you said, it's halfway now, and, I think it's Ricky that always said it gets championship starts at Daytona, so it's cool for me. I've just the most races I've ever done in a row, so it's pretty exciting, and yeah, it's been a great half the year, and looking forward to finishing off strong.
Yeah, for me, it started off a little bit rough. I made, like I mentioned earlier, I made some changes in the off season, just tried to get my technique a little bit better to avoid some of these mistakes that I've made in the past. And Anaheim won, made those same mistakes, and bounced back at Glendale and made the mistakes again in A2. And since then, it's been good. So I've kind of done everything I've wanted to, other than those two little hiccups. So just got to keep getting better. Like you said, we're halfway through the season, 6 rounds. I think we've done 6 rounds, and we have 4 rounds left. So can't can't get complacent. Got to keep getting better. But yeah, A so far for me.
For me, if I was professor, I would like to say show good thing, but I need to capitalize now because it's like my fourth time I finished second, so need to win now. It's time to win.
I've only done 4 races. I was undefeated until today, heats and mains, so I would say A+, A+, A+. 1 heat, but third, so I would say B+ tonight, so average A, A- maybe. So I'd like to stick in the A's. That'd be perfect.
All right, thanks, guys.